touch the lights. Follow my music, touch the lights. Follow my music, touch the lights. My music, come in, come in, come in, come in, come in. You'll understand.
Primus Luther here, all pimped out with Avant Herb for the sessions. This is the pilot episode, and we're going to go in on the Roots Criminal remix, courtesy of Indaba Music and OK Player. Giving you a little sneak peek into what my process has been like for the last couple of years as I've worked on the Heads project. The process begins with some audio editing of the stems that they provided to create some sampler instruments for the rhythm section, primarily the drums, bass, and the guitar. Each of those instruments get their own page at the bottom so that I can go between them all and give them their own individual parameters, making it easier to access them. With the rhythm section they laid out, start playing around a little bit. Drum pattern here is being run off of the patterns sequencer that's in all of the instruments, but only really being used on the drums for this song. And then the bass line is being just freestyled over. Using ideas from that improvisation, patterns are created, starting with the drums. The M sampler is really just amazing at isolating the individual sounds in loop samples or longer loops. So here you think that it's like individual samples being played, but it's just isolating the individual hits from the longer samples. The sequencer engine is then just taking those patterns, and it's not even MIDI that's being recorded, but actually I think of it as a looser sort of DSP counterpart to MIDI. Build out a couple of different patterns. The groove on the pattern sequencer gives it a nice swing. Kind of works for the Questlove drums here. From the ensampler, each of these are split out into multiple outs so that each individual sound has its own output. So now that I've got my patterns laid out, I can start doing some switching between them. After I've tracked all the drums, I can start going in on the individual instruments. Starting, of course, with the bass. And doing a little rhythm section with the other sampler, which has just got the guitar parts. Next I pull out strings, which is one of my favorite instruments, modeled after traditional string instruments, frets and all. Another favorite is perks, which is a percussion instrument, which I sort of modeled after the tabla drum. So another big part of the whole Heads process is not just isolating it to the instruments that I've created, but sort of incorporating them with the use of other instrumentation, be they percussions, brass, keys, just about everything. You've got didgeridoo on the album. But here I'm just sort of laying different elements. What you won't see here is the hours of in-the-box production work that goes into the song. A good portion of the song has a bunch of studio tricks that happen after the recording. What I will give you though is a first look at the scritch. Easily one of my favorite instruments of the Heads project. That's just about going to do it for this pilot episode of the PEMF Sessions. Stay tuned to avantherb.com. It's sort of down right now, but going to be up really soon with the relaunch, including the premiere episode of the PEMF Sessions. We're going to do an inside look at the creation of the final song for the Heads project from scratch. You can expect to see the 4 or 5 cycles come up possibly a little bit of monologue use in there, maybe some of our favorite instruments. Stay tuned live on Herb, Primus Luta.